4 o'clock on your Friday afternoon, and we're taking a live look around the state. Look at that. The mountains getting a little bit of snow, picking up a little more since yesterday. That could make for a great ski weekend, also some slick travel. Here in the metro area, the President's Day weekend is shaping up to be another warm one. I mean, you may want to go golfing.
Right.
Or something, Chris Bianchi, or just
always something to do.
Take a nice long walk.
I'm actually planning on that tomorrow. Okay. We're going to go on a nice long hike tomorrow afternoon, and I think a lot of you are going to get outside, but you can go up to the mountains and at least get some fresh snow. A little refreshing to see that snow starting back up. We just showed you Loveland ski area. Copper Mountain, we've had some flakes on again, off again here at Copper. We'll see that snow pick up over the next couple of hours. Winter weather advisory for most of the mountains above 7,000 feet west of Denver. And folks, the big takeaway here, is that ski traffic is going to be rough. So right now, I've been looking at the web cameras there at the tunnels, at Berthoud Pass, at Vail Pass, Hoosier Pass. It's all wet right now. The roads are fine, but those road conditions will go downhill once the sun goes down. We're going to bring down that temperature and also bring down that surface temperature as well. That'll allow that snow to stick a little bit more easily. Mid-50s right now around the Denver area. It's going to be all rain for us this evening. 50s Eastern Plains, 30s and 40s. Look at that, Leadville, 35 degrees, 10,000 feet. It is February the 13th. That is way warm for this time of year, and that's why we're talking about that snow having a tough time sticking even on colder surfaces there. In the high country, we're seeing the snow showers mostly along and north of I-70 right now. That snow will pick up over the next couple of hours. We'll see that snow continue for us to the San Juans as well. But here in Denver, we get some rain showers tonight. Then next week, two things we're watching for. One, in Denver, very high fire danger next Monday and Tuesday. And then in the mountains, perhaps our biggest snow event so far this season. I'll tell you about it in a couple minutes.
Thank you, Chris. 4 people were killed when a small plane crashed near Steamboat Springs this morning. Investigators say that plane crashed near Emerald Mountain. That was just after midnight as it was approaching the airport. Flight data shows that that plane originated in Nashville and stopped in Kansas City before continuing on to Steamboat Springs. The Broward County Sheriff's Office says 4 people were pronounced dead at the scene. The FAA and NTSB are investigating.
Tonight we have some new details emerging about the gunman who opened fire at that clinic in Evergreen. The shooting happened at Common Spirit Primary Care Center right off Evergreen Parkway. It happened yesterday. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says nobody was hurt. The shooter, we're told, killed himself before they were able to move in and has been identified as 62-year-old Lance Black. The Sheriff's Office said Black had been a patient at that clinic before. Still unclear right now what his motivation was. Sheriff's Office says he fired about 19 rounds, striking equipment, doors, and walls. It's amazing nobody was hit. Thank goodness. The shooting comes as the community there in Evergreen, as you know, is still reeling several months after the shooting at Evergreen High School. A student opened fire, injuring 2 other students before turning the gun on himself. And if you're in need in any way of support surrounding this story, the Evergreen Resiliency Center will be open this weekend from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. People can connect with mental health professionals there. Declining enrollment is a challenge for school districts all across Colorado and really all across the country.
And that reality is forcing school leaders with Boulder Valley to consider consolidating or even closing some elementary schools. 9 News reporter Rhea Jha explores what that's going to look like. Rhea, everybody hates to hear this in their district.
Yeah, decreased enrollment can be due to a lot of things. Here in BVSD, housing is a big one. With Boulder getting more expensive, families with elementary aged schools, kids are now, oh my gosh, I'm slipping up on my words. Elementary aged schools families are not moving in. So now families are split between whether consolidation is overdue or whether it will be too costly for kids.
Recess, where friendships start and communities form.
This email is
for some Boulder Valley families, that community is now up in the air.
An email that we got from Boulder Valley School District on Tuesday regarding a promise as we begin this difficult journey. Consolidation, closure, or programmatic changes at the elementary school level.
A potential school closure announcement isn't new to Kelly Crosby.
After COVID, the elementary school that my daughter went to closed. For very similar reasons, declining enrollment, and it was a hugely traumatic thing for her. For her 5th grade year, she had to move to another elementary school.
Her kids dealt with those closures in California. They're now in middle and high school in BVSD, but their family understands the importance of these buildings.
They are the heart of of the neighborhoods and the communities, and I just feel really sad for the kids that are going to be impacted by this.
Changing demographics is our new reality.
Rob Price is a district leader at BVSD who's taken on this issue, said the school district has lost about 3,700 students since 2017, and last year alone, enrollment dropped by 525. Rob says that means some classrooms are stretched thin.
When we get into those 2 classes per grade level and lower, we start seeing what we call mixed grade classrooms. This is not an intentional model, so they have a curriculum for a 2nd grade and 3rd grade all in the same room because these schools have gotten so small.
While closures are a possibility, he says the goal is to address uneven support across schools.
And we're spending a lot of money on underutilized space.
Funding is currently spread across 36 elementary schools in the district. Rob says consolidating could mean more support at fewer campuses.
It's really about not the resources we have today, but as we look 5 years from now, we won't have those same resources if we do nothing.
I'm not naive. I do understand that it may be inevitable in the long run as well, but as a parent of a kid who went through it, I am very sympathetic.
There's no official school closure list yet. They are supposed to begin community engagement in March, and then in August they're going to come up with some options, and then an official vote will begin in the fall. So nothing will actually happen until the 2027-2028 school year. Reporting live in Boulder, Rhea Cha, 9 News.
Conversations are starting right now. All right, thank you, Rhea. Neighbors in Denver are sharing their formal demands for a new data center campus planned near the National Western Complex. At a press conference today, residents of Globeville and the Elyria-Swansea area delivered their good neighbor proposal to CoreSite about its DE3 data center, listing out specific demands. They are asking for full transparency, and that includes detailing energy load, water use, and generator plans. The community is also asking for safeguards to privacy. They want limits to prevent the facility from supporting mass surveillance and deportation systems. The community is concerned about the increased energy demand and high water use that could impact the environment. Neighbors say this was necessary as this is, quote, not a trust situation and cannot be handled in private.
If CoreSite wants to be a good neighbor, well, here's a proposal that's going to allow them to be a good neighbor in this neighborhood. And this proposal is really the only way that CoreSite can be here without adding to this cumulative harm.
The proposal also demands CoreSite provide a written response by Tuesday, February 24th. The city of Denver has declared a sports bar a public nuisance because of suspected prostitution.
City documents say police conducted undercover operations at Mecca Sports Bar, and that is where Jeremy Hohola has been learning more, and he is live for us at the corner of Federal and Mississippi with these allegations. Jeremy.
Yes, and these city documents, the Mecca Sports Bar behind me here is painted as a base of prostitution. In these same documents, Denver police conducted several undercover operations at this location over the past year. This afternoon, we could see a notice that the city of Denver posted on the bar's front door declaring it a public nuisance. Not only does the bar have a liquor license, but it also has a cabaret license for exotic dancing. According to the city records, it is a common practice for women to meet men here and then come back after off-site bottle service. The records say in several cases, women offered undercover officers services for hundreds of dollars. One woman said in the record she made about $1,400 at this location in 1 week. A city spokesperson said they could not go into the details of the case, but said the bar owner will have a chance to defend themselves at a hearing next month.
And then that hearing officer, after they hold this hearing and hear evidence from the city and from the business, that hearing officer will issue what's called a recommended decision, and that goes to the executive director of the Department of Licensing and Consumer Protection, who issues a final decision.
And that final decision could be a suspension or a complete revocation of the bar's liquor and cabaret license. In the meantime, we tried numerous times to reach the bar owner for comment. He has yet to respond. That hearing, where these allegations will be aired out in a public forum, is set for March 20th. So we'll see what happens with the fate of the Mecca Sports Bar. We're live at Mississippi and Federal. Jeremy Hohola, 9 News.
More to come on that. Jeremy, thank you. A shutdown of the Department of Homeland Security is all but certain this weekend. Lawmakers have left town for a 10-day planned recess with no funding deal in place for the agency. Democrats and the White House have traded offers in recent days as Dems want to put some restraints on President Trump's aggressive immigration crackdown. The operation led to the shooting deaths, as you know, of Alex Preddy and Renee Good by federal immigration agents in Minneapolis both last month. Democrats want tighter parameters around search and arrest warrants and ICE agents to wear body cameras and remove masks. Republicans have said no to nearly all of those ideas. Nearly all DHS employees will stay on the job, but without pay until an agreement can be reached. Lindsey Vonn says she will have another surgery on her broken leg after having several since she crashed.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to keep track. She's going to need two hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She's provided an update on her Instagram account about her long road to recovery.
It's been quite a hard few days in the hospital here. I'm finally feeling more like myself, but have a long way to go. Tomorrow I'll have another surgery and hopefully that goes well, and then I can potentially leave and go back home, at which point I will need another surgery.
The 41-year-old crashed 13 seconds into her run during Sunday's race and was airlifted off the course. She fractured her tibia. She was already racing with a torn ACL when she suffered this crash. This was her return to the Olympics after retiring in 2019. She says she has no regrets for doing this, but this is pretty extensive recovery.
Yeah, and she knew that obviously this was one of the outcomes that she had planned for, not what she wanted. But yeah, I doubt she has any regrets.
No. Well, and you know what? Maybe she'll do other things that she'll stay in the public eye. We know that.
Yeah, absolutely. And a champion nonetheless.
Yes.
All right. There was a shocking result we need to tell you about today in Italy. Ilia Malinen fell several times. He did not think this was going to happen. No one thought this was going to happen. He didn't even make the podium in the men's free skate final. The 21-year-old, known as the Quad God, didn't land his famed quad axel and botched several other jumps during the routine. He ended up placing 8th. Malinen helped Team USA clinch gold in the team free skate event earlier this week. He was key in that. He has dominated the sport for more than 2 years now, over 14 full competitions.
That hurt.
Yeah, that was tough to watch.
But
he handled it.
He'll be back. And
Yeah.
yes, again, wise beyond his years.
For 21 years old, very mature after that.